Hello and good morning. Happy Monday to you. I heard some murmurs, Riley. I heard some murmurs that people weren't just okay with one Twinsky episode. They needed a double Twinsky episode. So welcome to the double Twinsky edition of Sleepers Media. We are here once again for an episode. I am Carter Elliott. This is Riley Davis with me. Riley, how are you doing? Must I say, your hair looks immaculate, and I know your lawn is looking perfect. You are fresh off the lawnmower. Please give me a breakdown on how that went.
Lawn mowing went well today. We had a 2 week break, 2 weeks off, but never idle. Believe that we were still putting in the work even when we were on vacation, mentally preparing for this, going through reps, playing out in my head. What was it going to look like as I broke out the weed eater? What was it going to look like as I switched back to the lawnmower? Yeah. So you just know I prepare for days like this. Hit the shower afterwards, gave you fair warning ahead of time that it takes me longer than 3 minutes to get my hair looking good. You were very understanding, and now I'm happy to be on this call.
Yeah, here at Sleepers Media, we do respect that people have hair needs. Which, by the way, I need to discuss something before we get into anything. I have been just so locked in, on sleepers, job, family, the lab. I've been locked in the lab. Which, by the way, I'm an Anytime Fitness member. Right, just right now, the most what I would say is financially responsible gym. Gets it done. Not a lot of people there. I just need something to get it done. I realized that my membership gets me into any Anytime Fitness, right? And there's one that's probably about 10 minutes further than the one that I go to in Berkeley, Michigan. I'm going to that one from now on. Riley, it is beyond nicer than the one that I go to. I mean, they got like, those nice treadmills, the one that's like a little bit curved, they got like the soft
Oh,
belts on them.
uh-huh. I know exactly
Yeah,
what you're
they
talking
got
about.
those treadmills. They got the little like ski machine in there. They got assault bikes. They got all types of stuff. They even got that I've never done it, I never will. But like the fact they got that Jacob's ladder thing, you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? They got like that workout in there too, which is crazy. I will be going to Berkeley Anytime Fitness from now on. But my main point of this is the haircuts have went by the wayside. I mean, my hair has never been longer. Truthfully, I think this is the longest I've gone without a haircut. And respectfully, I mean, the curls are popping. Let's not get it wrong
hmm
now, but I need a cut like I need air to breathe. I'm open to suggestions though. Do I go short? Do I just get a lineup and a taper and leave the little mini fro? Riley, where do I go here?
Ooh, I like that idea. I like leaving a little mini fro with the
Yeah,
lineup and
I've always
taper.
been a James Michael McAdoo guy. I don't know if you watched the USC episode, but he was the first player that came to mind when they mentioned him.
I haven't watched that episode. I saw the text from G that was like for the graphic booby. Who do you first think of when you see the North Carolina logo? And at first, when I saw James Michael McAdoo, I thought it was Greg who said that, and he was just trying to troll. But I knew there must be at least a half decent backstory if it came from you. So
Hey, I was a massive James Michael McAdoo guy, I must
I
say.
was I was a big believer. He was really mediocre.
He
Like
was so
there's
good in high school, though.
I know, but he just I think of all earmuffs Carolina fans, please don't come at me, Terrence L. Spain or anyone else who says I'm a hater. I just want our program to be better. But of all the five stars who underachieved in Chapel Hill, of which there are a handful, McAdoo might be toward the top. When it was his team his sophomore year, I think we lost to UAB and we lost to Belmont. Had some big wins. We did beat Michigan State in the Brez, Carter. I'm sure you remember that one. I
I
bet
I do.
I
I
bet Greg
do.
was in the izzone.
Yeah, he was.
He was
He
probably
definitely
like plotting on the downfall of the team.
100%. But
Greg
yeah,
would.
look, you think honestly that'd be a not a fun segment because I feel like it would uncover some really nasty times. But like, is he the leader of the under maybe the five stars that didn't necessarily get it done?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. If you're looking at five stars that didn't get it done,
Wasn't Jalen Washington a five star? No, he's a four
he
star, right?
he was a five star when he committed, but he committed like summer 2021 when there was no live evaluation periods. And I think once basketball started happening again, and he had his knee injuries, he fell a lot by the
Sorry,
time
I'm
he.
not laughing at that. I was like, once basketball started being played, he fell. Like
Yeah.
that's
Well,
a crazy
it was
state.
it was he was a five star during COVID when no one was playing
Hey,
basketball.
listen, I wanted him. I wanted him
I
and James
forgot.
Brown.
I forgot that Carolina was in a battle with like probably Michigan State, Indiana, and some others for
I
Jalen
think
Washington.
Purdue was the other school.
That's crazy that all those schools wanted him. He was really disappointing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like Nazir Little definitely underachieved compared to expectations, but the team he was on was a one seed
right.
that swept Duke in the regular season, if I recall correctly. Uh,
You know you recall correctly.
yes, I do know. I recall that correctly. To where I think if you're on a good team, you get a little bit of leeway. With McAdoo, I mean, his freshman year was the team that also got a one seed and made the Elite Eight with Harrison Barnes and Kendall Marshall. But yeah, the sophomore year when he was the guy was just that team was so erratic, and it eventually became Marcus Page's team anyway. And we know how his career obviously reached heights that McAdoo never did. Uh, that being said, I think you could pull off the McAdoo cut cart.
Yeah, look. I think he's I'm still a McAdoo guy to this day. NBA champion James Michael McAdoo,
That's
by the way.
right.
Let us not
That's
let
right.
us not forget. It was so funny. There's like this one actually there's a couple Twitter pages who do it now. They'll like take like, oh, I want to see 2015 Steph Curry highlights. And they showed him yesterday on Twitter. And I'm like, oh my God, is that James Michael McAdoo finishing the pass from from Steph Curry? What am I looking at right now?
I really thought he might be the guy, like the unheralded, undrafted dude from Carolina who goes on to have a decent NBA career. I'm glad he stuck around for a little bit, but yeah, you go back to those like the spring of 2011, the hype train that was building then. I remember seeing mock drafts at the time that was like Harrison Barnes, Austin Rivers, James Michael McAdoo. That's your top three for the 2012 NBA draft. And that would have been 2012, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was is that the Anthony? No, it's the Anthony Davis draft.
Oh no, the mic went out.
Can you hear me?
Now I got you. I think it was on. You have AirPods in, or it was? I think your computer audio for a second.
Oh, all good. Yeah, it just glitched for a second, but yeah, it was the year before the Anthony Bennett draft. Maybe if like James Michael had gone after his junior year or some. Actually, no, he did declare after his junior year. Anyway, did not play out that way, but James Michael McAdoo hype will always exist in my heart.
Hey, forever, ever in our hearts. We appreciate you, James Michael McAdoo, wherever you are right now. Let's get to the YouTube comment of the day. I actually think this is a good one because I feel like Riley, this is somebody who's agreeing with you here. Riley is right about UNC's social media team. It's straight garbage compared to other major programs. I don't know if they need new handlers or if HD is limiting access, but something needs to change. Unfortunately, we're in an age now where these things matter to players who are mulling over where they want to play ball. Listen,
I
Riley's not lying out here. Kid, listen, I say this as like I feel like old man yelling at clouds. These young kids these days, man, like that means something to them, right? Like, and y'all got the brand. The baby blues are fire. Jordan is fire. Start showing it. Like these kids will eat that shit up.
it really I'm sorry to go Carolina centric after riffing for 5 minutes on James Michael McAdoo, but I don't care who you are. Duke fans, you can be excluded from this. Every neutral observer out there, when you see a Carolina jersey, it makes you emotional. There's a certain pull that the color scheme does to you that the Argyle, it's one of the best aesthetics in the sport. I know I'm partial to it. I'm biased to it. I would say they're the best jerseys in the sport. I know Greg agrees with me on that. So at least there's a non-Carolina guy co-signing that. It's all of that when you factor in the brand, the history, the campus, like you could be selling this program and turning it into a marketing goldmine that would start to attract more top talent if you can back up some more results with getting guys to the league, having them perform, which maybe Caleb Wilson is the one who changes that. But yeah, I mean, overall, it ties into some more of my gripes with Hubert, which we don't have to get into. But I do think he wants to keep a lot of it insular and not put it out into the public, which just doesn't really make sense to me in the internet and social media era with the two of those things existing right now in the fashion that they do. So I will probably keep ranting about it until anything changes. Maybe nothing ever changes, but I at least will fight the fight because I think you're seeing the Carolina football team. Been putting out fire edits since football camp started this past week. And for some reason, the crown jewel, the basketball program, we get photos of them in the weight room, and then we get a 4 minute reel from the Outer Banks with minimal hoop content, and
Yeah,
it's maddening.
it's not fair. Imagine if like Pat Kelsey was the head of your team and some of the content we would be seeing from UNC right now. It'd be scenes. It'd be
Dude,
complete scenes.
Come on. Pat Kelsey would be he would be posting up with the students in the tar pit at the football games. He would be showing up at frat parties and networking. I think, yeah, we
He'd
don't
be
have to
riding
continue,
like
but
what like I know obviously what it like the tar like what's the name of y'all is it like a ram? What's the name of the mascot?
yeah, Ramses.
Yeah, like he would be riding Ramses, I think, or like actually a real ram. I feel like he would ride one into like the student quad or whatever, like that, and that would do something for kids. They like that. Gosh, Hubert, we're trying to help y'all here. But moving on. Moving on to the Discord comments. Shout out to the Discord. Join the Discord. 9.99 a month. Join on your desktop to avoid any of those Discord fees that get out there. But great way to support us at Sleepers Media and a great community. And you get your comments read on the show every single day. We will start today with Warchant, who says, "Do you feel jealous for some of the content you missed by not being around in the 80s?" No. Warchant once again. Carter's refusal to acknowledge the 80s is like refusing to accept a steak dinner and a 60-minute massage. Not similar. I don't like the 80s. Moving on. Akil, question for y'all. Thinking about how in the NFL, LSU and OSU are known as wide receiver U, Iowa is known as tight end U, et cetera, et cetera. What would it be? What would it be in the NBA? My picks below. Guard U, Cal U. Wing U is Duke. Big U is Texas or Cal U. Role player U was Villanova. Curious on your thoughts. Curious what your thoughts are.
Those are some really good picks, with Big U being Texas. Who are some of the Texas bigs? I guess Miles Turner, but after him, is it like Jackson Hayes? Do they have any other notable ones? I'm forgetting Jarrett Allen.
Jared Allen is one. I don't know if else I'm like Jericho Sims, but like that's not
Yeah.
a. I don't know if I could really do it. I'm trying to think. Like Cal, you obviously, Anthony Towns,
Hmm.
Cousins, Anthony
Anthony
Davis. Like
Davis.
that's probably it. Wing you being Duke.
I give credence to that when you have Tatum, Flag, technically Zion.
Yeah,
Banchero's more of like, we can consider Banchero a big wing.
yeah. Ben Karras. I mean, even like RJ Barrett's been solid in the league.
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably it. And then role player you being Villanova. Yeah, Michael Bridges, Dante DiVincenzo. I mean, Brunson's a star, but I'm trying to
Hmm.
think like who else could be in that role player U mold.
I feel like I don't know. Gonzaga had a window to be role player U when they were just churning. They used to have a ton of wings, like what was it, Jonathan Williams again. I'm blanking on names.
Jonathan, or are you talking about for Gonzaga?
Yeah, I know because obviously they have the star with Chet. Um, Jalen Suggs at this point is probably a role player who could ascend another level.
Yeah.
But there were so many guys on those Gonzaga teams from the late 2010s, like Joel Ayayi, that I was convinced were going to stick in the league. Or remember
I thought he would.
Zach Norvell was another one. Like they had a chance to establish themselves at that, but Villanova kind of took that mantle. This is
Nigel
a good
Williams was
question.
awesome.
Now I thought he was going to stick in the league too. Like, how did none of these guys make it?
I don't know. That is a good question. I did like that one. Thanks, Akil. Mutant Matt. Carter, you mentioned in the Dylan Betts video recruitment short that you believe his recruiting ranking will skyrocket once he starts receiving offers to high majors and blue bloods. That got me thinking, does this sort of retroactive recruiting evaluation happen often with 24/7 Rivals and ESPN? Do they just look at a recruit's offer sheet and give him the requisite number of stars based on the quality of programs tendering? That seems a little lazy to me. I think sleepers should start doing recruiting rankings. You guys are really good at it, and I would trust your evaluations way more than any traditional sources. Hmm. Sorry. So
That's
here's I'll go to you after this, ride. But here's what I would say about that. One, I would like actively need to like watch at least one time these kids in person. Like I would have to. Also, don't know if I could do it. Like I would get lazy past. I'd be like, all right, this kid stinks. All right, this kid stinks. You know what? Like good player, but at the same time, like he stinks. So, I don't know. What do you feel about that? I guess to his question though too. I do think recruits do get a little bit of a boost depending on like their schools and a little bit of like their PR and things like that.
hmm. Yeah, I think, well, for one, I'm very honored that he says he thinks we would be good at it. That means a lot. I would love to do a little eval. The only problem is I, like you, Carter, would get kind of bored with the grind. I would love to go to Peach Jam. I think we as sleepers need to make a trip one of these days. However, I'm not chomping at, wait, what's the phrase?
Chomping
Champing
at
at the bit.
chomping at the bit?
It's actually champing at the bit.
No way.
I promise you it's champing at the bit.
I'm not gonna question you. You sound way too confident.
I'm not really champing at the bit to have to cover Peach Jam and to write a bunch of scouting reports, but I would love to be there for the vibes and to actually watch some of these dudes in person. Also, great use of the word tendering. The program's tendering. Love that. But yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said, Carter.
Yeah, appreciate the kind words about the recruiting rankings and evaluations thing. I do enjoy like actually, watching these kids and looking at their game and predicting like what they're going to be and who they're going to be. That is enjoyable to me. But shout out to all the guys that do recruiting because that is a grind like no other. Truthfully, that's a lot
Facts.
of basketball to watch, a lot of kids to watch. I mean, I feel like even fatigue works its way into there. You spent all day and now you got to lock in for the last game of the Peach Jam. I just shout out to all the guys who do that. Y'all do great work, and we can't make our videos without y'all getting these guys on the scene. So appreciate y'all for that. Uh, Sleeve Diction, top 10 Big Ten teams this season. One, Purdue. Two, Michigan State. Three, Illinois. Four, Wisconsin. Five, Michigan. Six, UCLA. Seven, Oregon. Nine or eight, Iowa. Nine, Washington. 10, Ohio State. That's interesting, Sleeve.
This is interesting. I like Wisconsin top four. We talked about that last week. UCLA is UCLA too low
I don't think UCLA should be out of the top four.
out of the top four? I think okay. My top four would probably be Purdue, Michigan. I said Wisconsin a couple weeks ago, but I think if push came to shove, I probably wouldn't zag like that. I might go like UCLA, Wisconsin, Illinois as my top five.
Yeah, I think my top five when I did it was Purdue. I think it was Purdue, UCLA, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan State. I think that's the order I had it.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I feel like Iowa. I probably like Iowa better than Oregon. Washington, Ohio State, man. I think both. I probably move Washington down a little bit just because of question marks about Sprinkle and even how all those guys will fit, even though the roster's really talented. Then again, I'm like, do I really care that much to argue on behalf of Jake Diebler? No, so I'll keep Washington there.
Yeah. Hey, my Buckeyes are coming this year. Dealers got us, I think. Last one of the day, Bryce R. Jones. What's been your favorite all-time incoming transfer for each of your teams? Maybe a few national relevant ones. I feel like
Mine's
yours has to
probably
be Brady Manick.
yeah, it does. I think Brady Manek gets the nod. I loved Harrison Ingram too, just from like a he gets a little bump from the media side of things. He was really fun to cover, and I think his leadership, his ability to like bring the best out of his teammates and stir them up with some psychotic energy was pretty good. But yeah, Manek got us to the title game and was instrumental in that run. So I'll
That was
give
a
it to
good
him.
transfer class, honestly. Wasn't Cormac in that class too?
Cormac was with Harrison Ingram.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying Cormac and Harrison Ingram. That was a good
Oh,
recruit. That was a good
yeah,
transfer class.
yeah, that was a good class.
Yeah.
And Paxton Wojcik, please respect my guy.
Yeah. My favorite is none other than the original. He was doing the transfer before transfer was cool. My dog sat out a year. It's Joseph Jamal Hauser, man. For what you did for this program, you will forever have a fan of me. I love you. I always will love you. And honorable mention to Tyson Walker because the ultimate give me the ball, do him player, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. That boy could score the basketball, and it
Mm.
was it was hella fun. He deserved better, by the way. That does it for the Discord comments today. Oh, go ahead, Riley. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as I was talking about that class of Harrison Ingram and Cormac Ryan that also had Paxton Wojcik, both of our programs have taken a Wojcik brother.
Listen, no, my program hasn't. If I don't acknowledge it, it didn't happen. Okay. So also I got the whole Wojcik family tree on my as wearing Michigan State green. Okay. I got every Wojcik that's coming through the ranks. Honestly, surprised Pax isn't on the roster. If he wasn't playing, was he in Poland?
He was in Poland at last check, yeah.
Me knowing that Pax and Wojcik was in Poland, insane poll, by the way, no pun intended. But yeah, I got Wojcik just surrounding my program, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Let's
Anywho,
get on to the topics.
let's get on to the topic. Shout out to the Discord. Shout out to everybody in the Discord. Appreciate y'all for being a part of this. Appreciate y'all getting your comments read every single day. We are sponsored by anyone who will sponsor us. Please hit our inbox, thesleepersmedia@gmail.com. Shout out to the good folks there. Honestly, Riley has done the best job being a guy who gets sponsors for us. I'm gonna challenge him. Think he's leaning on Roback too much. All right. I loved it. Let's go to the next thing. Go find it. I believe in you. Let's get to the show. Topic number one. Now, for everyone who watched last week's episode, the latest episode, we did a predicting the top five, or no, sorry, predicting the starting lineups for some of our favorite teams. And I text Riley late last night, and I was like, "We need a topic for today." And he's like, "You know what? I very much enjoyed doing that, predicting the starting five. Can we do a couple more teams?" I said, "Riley, say no more, say less. Let's go ahead and do it." So Riley came up with some more teams that we can do this exercise for, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Riley, who is our first team?
Yeah, we're going to get back into it. And a reminder, this is game one starters. We already had some people in the Twitter comments today saying, I think Kurt Tang will start over Trey Fort for Michigan State. Sorry, we're recording this on Friday. And we talked about that scenario in the video and said, this is game one. It is going to lean on the vet. So reminder, because the first team we're going to cover probably will have a lot of debate. And I just want that out there, even though the Kentucky fans will probably disregard it, because we're talking about your team in BBN. Who are the game one starters for Kentucky?
Ooh, all right, so I think point guard, you have Jelon Lowe. I think
J-
Jelon Lowe is going to be a starter. I
Jalen.
think you'll have Denzel Aberdeen at the two. What I do?
I said Jalen. You said Jelon
All right.
again.
It just sounds so much cooler if it's Jelon Lowe.
Jelon does sound cool. I swear he went by Jelon his freshman year at Pitt and then
Okay, you know
changed his
what?
name.
There's a middle ground here. I got J Lo at the one.
There we
J
go.
Lo at the one. I got Ortega at the two. Or no, we'll go Aberdeen at the two.
Hmm.
Ortega at the three. Diabate at the four, and J. I think JQ is going to be good. I think JQ at the five.
Ooh, I think it's gonna be Brandon Garrison at the one.
What?
Not the one,
What?
the five. Sorry.
Whoa! Wait,
Sorry.
whoa again.
I think it's gonna be Brandon Garrison at the five for game one.
Brett, you think so?
I just don't know. Like, is JQ? We haven't seen any clips of him practicing yet. I don't know if he's been cleared for 5-on-5.
I don't think he has.
Let's say maybe he plays game one, but it could be more so 17 minutes. Let me look this up. Who is Kentucky playing for their first game?
You know what? I think you're right. Even if he is ready to go, they probably don't like just throw him out there, right?
Yeah. Kentucky basketball schedule. Da, 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 da. Why is their football schedule? This is not what I want.
I love a good
Okay.
uh,
So Kentucky, they got the Purdue exhibition Friday, October 24th. They're playing another exhibition against Georgetown.
mm.
Then they opened the season with Louisville, though. I forgot
Wait,
about
that
that. They're
November 11th game is the first real game of the season?
That's the only one. That's what's unless there are some. Oh, I don't think they've announced any buy game. No, they've announced a couple buy games.
Damn. Okay.
What
Well,
is that? So that's Tuesday the 11th.
yeah.
Will the season start before that? I think it will, won't it?
Yeah, it starts the first week of November, I think. No, actually, no, that's not true. I think it starts the ninth or 8th or ninth.
Hold on one second. I'm about to do some digging
E- e-
because if they start the season with Louisville, there's a chance that JQ starts.
you think even if it doesn't really matter? Like,
Okay, the season does start the week before. I think November 3rd is the first day. So they probably haven't announced their buy games yet.
mm,
So I'm gonna guess it's Garrison at the five to start the year. But by the time, here's my bold prediction: by the time we get to Louisville, it's gonna be Andrea Yelovich and JQ at the 4-5.
ooh, I like that too. But
So,
okay, let's go with for health reasons. Let's go Garrison at the four to start. I
all
sorry
right,
at the five. So we have J Lo, Denzel
I
Aberdeen, Otega Owe, and then we'll
Modi.
go Diabate and Brandon Garrison. Do you think there's any chance that Trent Noah starts at the four game one?
I mean, he did against the TBT team, right?
He did, but let's
They
go ahead. Let's not act like that's gonna happen though.
they can't do that in a real basketball game that counts. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
they can.
Modi.
Yeah, no chance. All right, what you got for team two?
Team two, we have Louisville.
Ooh, yes. Okay. Now this is crazy because I have my own personal like I want this to be the starting five, but I think this is actually going to be the starting five. So I think they're gonna have guards. Let's call it the one. You'll have Michael Brown.
Hmm.
At the two, you'll have Conwell. At the three, so I think they're gonna go a little. I think they're gonna go three guards, go a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna actually say McNeely at the three,
Hmm.
Javon Hadley at the four, and then Sonata Frew at the five.
I think that's the right call. The
You think
only
Kaysen's gonna start though? Kaysen Pryor,
I think with him coming off the injury, his was either an Achilles or an ACL, wasn't it?
ACL.
Yeah, with him coming off an injury, I'd say Hadley. Hadley was really good down the stretch last year, and he's one of those dudes who rebounds really well and doesn't need a ton of shots. He can fit into any lineup. And like to me, Case and Pryor is still best when you're playing through him, when you're letting him get his touches. I mean, that dude was pulling any three he could get his hands on at the start of the season. And to me, Hadley's a little more low maintenance and can just be a glue guy around those star-studded guard trio.
Okay, so you feel good about that lineup?
I do. Yes.
All right, I love my cards. L's up, by the way. Just gotta go ahead and throw that up there. All right, who else we got?
Next up, we got UConn.
I want you to lead the way, Riley.
UConn, I think it's Silas Demery at the one.
Hmm.
I think it's Solo Ball at the two. I
Like
think it's
that.
I think it's Braylon Mullins at the three.
So
I think
You
it's
think Braylon starts as a three?
I think Braylon starts at the three as opposed to who's the good one? Jalen Ross? Or excuse me,
Jalen
Jalen
Stewart.
Stewart's the good one.
Yep.
Sometimes I mix that up between him and Jaden Ross.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Mullins. We there have been word coming out of UConn circles that Mullins has been really impressive, sort of from the jump, and I to me he's another guy who fits really well alongside Demery and Ball, where if you're not going to get anything else out of Mullins, he's probably going to shoot close to 40%, and he's 6'6", so projectable role. Caravan at the four, Terrace Reed at the five.
Okay, I feel good about that lineup. It's gonna be interesting to see who's at that three spot. I heard some stuff about. I think the best version of this team is with Braylon Mullins in that spot.
Mhm.
And that UConn team will be really good. I really like
Yeah.
that starting lineup. All right, who else we got?
Side note, like Jalen Stewart as a bench wing is really
Oh
freaking
yeah, that's what's gonna make him
major
good.
luxury.
That's what's gonna make him good for sure. All right, who you got next?
Next up, we have Indiana.
Hmm, interesting. Okay, by the way, I also like do hand up apology here. I said like I made a joke about like Indiana. I was like visually this team like was like didn't strike fear in me. It was more said in joking, but I understand it rubbed people the wrong way, so I do apologize for that. Maybe the joke was a little bit in bad taste, as some people like to say. But the starting lineup, I think for Indiana day one, I think you're gonna go. Okay, so can I assume that Nick Dorn is healthy?
Yes, I just am not a Nick Dorn guy though.
Because
But
I think the lineup would be or could be it would be at the one you have Connerway,
hmm
at the two you have Wilkerson, three DeVries, four small ball Nick Dorn, and actually I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, never mind. Let's go. Okay, how about this though? Let's get the ones that we know. Connerway at the one,
hmm
Connerway at the one, Wilkerson at the two.
hmm
Uh, do we have DeVries at the three or DeVries at the four?
So the way that I'm approaching this is based off of that game one lineup in Puerto Rico where we saw DeVries start at the four and Sam Alexis coming off the bench, Reed Bailey at the five. I want someone to beat out Connor Enright for the starting job, but I don't want that person to be Nick Dorn.
See, I want it to be Nick. I'd like, you know what? Can we put Nick Dorn at the three, DeVries at the four, and Rebailey at the five?
That seems like that's the lineup Indiana fans want. There were a lot of people in the comments of our YouTube video reacting to that game saying Nick Dorn is going to start when he's healthy. We can lean on that for now. So I want you sell me on Nick Dorn,
I don't want to start Connor Enright.
but you're leaning him over Josiah Miles or Ristich.
I saw a highlight of the first thing that Indiana basketball put out of Ristich is him smoking a layup. That I didn't like that.
So
It's got to be day one. Ristich just get to like campus?
yeah, he did. So maybe
You think
Dorn maybe is the
you
safe
think
bet.
they wouldn't start Sisley at the three, would they?
I don't think so.
No.
Honestly, there's a world where it's DeVries at the three, Sicily at the four, Bailey at the five, but that to me feels more like a December, January
Yeah. All right.
move.
We got to be DeVries. Who's DeVries starting game one at the three?
Okay, we can go Dorn at the three. Give the vet a little bit of love. My skepticism with him is he was basically just a jump shooter last year, and he was really inefficient. The optimist side of things was he was dealing with, I think, some health issues. I want to say starting in December or January because his splits were really good up until league play started. I think he was close to 40% from three, but his percentages just completely tanked until I think he might have dealt with a more severe injury at the end of the year. But I just need to see a little bit more from him, and I have some athleticism concerns there. So, but we'll see. I know Indiana fans are high on him, so we'll pencil him in there for now.
Yeah, also that's my olive branch to Indiana fans for my joke. So the Nick Dorn can be the starter. That's my olive branch is Nick Dorn at the three. I'm willing to go ahead and give them that. We got any other teams, Riley?
Yeah, we got Arizona next up.
Ooh. Are we on the same page that those are our Wildcats this year?
They are our Wildcats. Yes, I love this team.
Our Wildcats and are your future head coach, maybe?
I would love for that him to be my future head coach.
Okay, I need to get an updated list of your future head coaches for this upcoming season. Because sometimes it does change a little bit. But all right, at the one, probably pencil in Jaden Bradley at the one, right?
Yep.
Now it gets a little bit tricky with this team, right? Like they got like guys return. Okay, I guess you put Awaka in the front court. He's gonna start somewhere there.
I don't want it to be a Waka, but you're probably right. I
You
want
don't-
Krivas at the five, but
you think they're gonna go Awaka Krivas?
I,
Ew.
no, I think it'll be Koa Pete at the four and Krivas at the five eventually. But Owaka being the vet who was proven last year while Krivas was hurt, he's probably a good bet to start game one.
All right, let's go. Jaden Bradley at the one. Do we think that the returning guys are here? Do we think like a Braden Burries breaks into the starting lineup?
I think Burries will for sure be there, but I don't know if the three is going to be Ivan Karchenkov or
Del
Anthony
Orso.
Del Orso. Yeah.
I think return. Okay, so I think all right. Let's do this. Given what I think Cole Pete has done, given also like this is day one, it could change. How do we feel about Jaden Bradley, um, Braden Burries,
hmm
Del Orso, Koa Pete, Krivas?
Uh, I'm good with either Krivas or a walk at the five.
Maybe coming back from injury, they start Awaka to start the year.
Awaka feels like the right choice to start, but I'm guessing by the time it hits mid-January, Del Orso gets replaced by Karchenkov and Awaka gets replaced by Krivas. So those guys are still in the rotation, but that's a really good top seven, and hence why there are Wildcats.
Yeah, also free Dwayne Aristode. If you went to Michigan State, you'd be with us right now, King. I'm just throwing that out there. You'd be our best player. I miss you. Yeah. All right, let's go with that as a starting lineup because I think day one, that's how it would probably be with Krivas. Did he break his foot? Is that what it was?
It was something like that. It was definitely a foot injury.
It was okay. I hate big foot. You got to play that safe. We
I
don't
know.
like big man foot injuries. All
Yeah.
right. Who do we have one more team?
Yeah, last one we have Houston.
I'll let you lead, Riley. I don't like taking the lead every time.
So I think there are four guarantees between excuse me, Emmanuel Sharp, Kristen Nack, and Joseph Tugler. It just brings up the question of what do they do at that three spot?
You think Harwell has a chance to start?
Uh, I think he definitely has the size and the defensive pedigree.
Yeah, because I mean, to me, I'm thinking Milos Sharp, Harwell, Tugler, Snack,
Yeah, that would probably be my choice. The only way, well, I think Harwell would have the edge on Flemings just because he
like
gives you more
size,
positional.
yeah,
Yeah.
positional size.
And if this was like a typical Kelvin Sampson team where the bigs were just there to basically set screens, rebound, and play defense, I would say Flemings has a better shot to start. But Sinak could be an offensive focal point, and I think he has the size and like he definitely can move. I think his agility, fluidity is really impressive, but I'm not expecting him to be the level of defender some other Houston bigs have been in the past. That's why I think they probably need a little bit more size on the wing to compensate for that. So yeah, let's go
Yeah,
Harwell.
all right, definitely. That was fun exercise. I look forward to doing one of these every time we're on this to the point where we get to like right before the season. It's like, all right, so who do you think start for High Point this year? It'll be fun times, but that was a fun exercise, Riley. Appreciate you. Topic number two, Riley. It has been far too long since you and I had a draft battle. I don't know if you had noticed recently on the channel, but I have really dodged the allegations of losing drafts. I think I'm on like a 9 draft win streak currently, and I'm looking to maintain that. The draft we have today is we are talking 2026 basketball recruits, right? So any recruit from the class of 2026, uh, currently new addition to the class of 2026, Baba Oladoten is now in this class. So you can pick him if you need it. Tyron Stokes, all those players are involved in this. But we are going to have a snake style draft. How many players do you want to draft in this?
Let's go six each. So we each
Six
get
each.
five and a six man.
Five and a six man. Class of 2026 recruits. Riley, do you want the first pick or do you want the second two?
Oh, I'll take the second.
Take the second two.
Mm-hmm.
That's a smart pick by you. Smart pick by you, given what this class is shaking out to be. But all
For
right,
sure.
let's see here. For my first pick, I am going to take. Mm, I'm gonna take the best. PG in this class. I'm gonna take Dylan Mingo.
I was hoping I could get Mingo with one of my next two picks. That's a good shout, Cart.
I'm gonna take Dylan Mingo.
Is it just because they're both big and they're both named Dylan, or do you see a little Dylan Harper and Dylan Mingo?
There is a little bit of him in there for
That
sure.
I really, as I've watched him, I'm like, I think he kind of plays like Dylan Harper, but I had that realization where I'm like, is it just because he's from the Northeast? His name is Dylan, and he's a tall point guard.
I think he's a better shooting Kadari Richmond, which is a nasty player.
Oh, that I like that comp a lot too. I'll go ahead and take Stokes. I might have to deal.
Yeah, if I have to, I'll take stuff.
Like I might have to deal with the circus, but he is the most talented guy in the class. So welcome to my team. Next after him, I think I'm going to take Caleb Holt. And I know the recruiting folks that we've talked to think he has a lower ceiling than your typical top five player, but I've watched him a couple of times, like full games, and every time I tune into his tape, he's so impressive. I think he's really good on both sides of the court, and there's truly nothing that is a weakness. He's more good at everything, great at nothing, but that can still be a really good player. So I'll take Caleb Holt next.
All right, I like that pick. All right, I'm gonna go. Ooh, I'm gonna go Jordan Smith, and my next pick. Let's see. I'm gonna go Jordan Smith, and then I'm gonna go Caden Samuels.
Oh wow, you're a big Caden Samuels guy.
Massive Caden Samuels guy.
What's the sell on him?
I think he's just like a 6'8", can get you a bucket anytime you need. Really good frame. Also, like nostalgic reasons, I'm kind of tapping into this. He is a more in shape, little slightly more athletic. Deshaun Thomas, you remember him from Ohio State?
My lack of Big Ten history is going to show. I recognized the name, could not tell you what his game was like.
He was a bucket. That's okay. That's all you need to know.
With Caden Samuels, I was really high on him earlier this summer when he was lighting it up, but his peach jam struggles and some of the inefficiencies souring my view of him a little bit. But that's okay. This is your draft. Who am I to critique? The fun part about this class
Seems
being
like you're critiquing, Riley. Seems like you're critiquing, and I'm noting that because I can't wait to see who you pick next. I'm ready.
next up, I want Ron Ron Rippy.
Do they? Is his name Ron Ron? Do they call
Yeah,
him Ron Ron?
his nickname is Ron Ron.
Okay, that's fire, and I have nothing to say about that. He is nasty.
Ron Ron Rippy, welcome to my team. After
Well,
Ron Ron, okay,
hopefully,
so right now,
hopefully, welcome to your real team.
yeah, I would love that. But so my 1 through 3 right now is looking like Ron Ron, Caleb Holt, and Tyron Stokes. I'm gonna do a little throwback guy who has seen his stock fall, but one-time friend of the program. Never forget when me and G interviewed him. Mika Murinen, that's my starting four.
I totally forgot that he was in Mika Mirin, huh?
Mika Murinen. He was someone who was like top 10 this time last year. I think he's fallen like 5 spots maybe to 14, 15. But yeah, it seems like he's a little bit slept on right now. Maybe he didn't quite have the season that some expected. I think he was at Compass Prep this past year, but I'll still take
If
him.
it wasn't for Mingo, I think he would be he'd be the best player in this class.
Mika?
Huh?
I think
Oh, sorry,
Mika's.
not best player, best point guard. My apologies. Yeah.
Oh, wait, Rippy?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about Mika.
Oh, my fault. I went back on that. No, yeah, Mika has dropped, but I think Mika dropping is for other reasons that aren't fair to him, maybe.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
still take him.
Yeah, good pick there. All right. Where do I want to go here? Hold on a second. I need a quick check on. I'm pretty positive this guy's in this class, but I don't want to blow it and look stupid. Where's he ranked? Am I miss? Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, got you. All right. I'm gonna take friend of one of my favorite players in the class. I'm gonna take Arafan John. He will be
I
my
think it's
center.
Janae, but that's a great pick.
Janae, he will be my center. And
I
then
like that a lot, Hart.
I'm gonna go ahead and add my power forward spot here. Mm, who do I want to take at this spot?
I know of one player who I'm surprised is not screaming like begging you to take him right now.
That scares me that you said that.
There's a four-man out there who I know you love, who your program is really high on, and he would be a perfect fit in your system that you're building here.
Yeah. Oh, is this the player that I don't like his face though?
Yes.
For that reason, I have an aesthetic to maintain about my team that I want to rock with here. I'm actually going to take. You know what? I wish I could do like a little small ball, like super small ball, and play like Cade Samuels at the four and like Coleman Landrew or something at the five. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick. I'm gonna go upside here, even though I have some questions about his game, but I need one upside player on this team. I'm gonna take Cam Williams.
He's a guy I just can't get there with Cam Williams, but
I necessarily really can't either, but like I'm just gonna go ahead and take him and hopefully he pans out.
so you took Arfon Janae and Cam Williams. So let's see. So I have my 1 through 4 settled. So these are my last two picks. Oh, you still have one more after this.
Yep.
For the five man, I'm going with Marcus Ponder. I think I need him to rise up in the rankings a little bit, but this big man class kind of feels like a crapshoot anyway. So give me the dude who's 7 foot 280 and will just is built like a man child already. And then for my sixth man, I'm going to take Bryson Howard.
I love Bryson Howard.
Same dude. He's nasty.
That's a
He
yeah,
might
that's a
he might
great.
mess around and push Mika to the bench or push Pond. Actually, I'll start Mika at the five and have Bryson at the four. Have Marcus Ponder coming off the bench.
Love that energy. Definitely love that energy. All right, my last pick. I'm going with my guy Los. Going Carlos Medlock Jr. Spartan Dog Wolf Wolf.
I'm kind of surprised Josiah Jervis didn't get taken. I considered him with my last pick.
I considered him too, but I got such good guards that yeah, I feel good about that. All right, so my team and starting line. I got Dylan Mingo at the one, Jordan Smith at the two, Caden Samuels at the three, Cam Williams at the four, Arfon Janae at the five, Los Medlock Jr. off the bench. Who you got, Riley?
And then for mine, I have Ron Rippey at the one. I have Caleb Holt at the two. I have I forgot. Oh, Tyron Stokes at the three. I have Mika Murinen at the four. I have Marcus Ponder at the five, and I have Bryson Howard coming off the bench. These are
I'm in,
good teams.
good team. I'm interested to get that in graphic form to see who thinks on that one, but that was fun. Third and final topic today. We have a article from CBS Sports. Shout out to the guys over at CBS Sports. David Cobb, Isaac Trotter, and Cam Salerno. They do great work over there. Appreciate everything they do. Also, I say this every time we talk Isaac Trotter on this podcast. That boy can hoop. All right, I just want everyone to know he can go. They did a little bit of a tag team article here where they talked the splashiest roster additions for 2025 and 2026. And there were some of the names on here that you typically see as far as being the splashiest ad. And I just kind of want to go through here. They had six. I believe they had six different guys choose. So Gary Parrish picked AJ DeBansa for BYU. Matt Norlander picked Cam Boozer for Duke. For let's see, Kyle Boone picked Yaxel Lendenborg for Michigan. And we have David Cobb who picked Nate Ament for Tennessee. And Cam Salerno picked Darren Peterson for Kansas, and Isaac Trotter picked Boogie Fland, being added to Florida. Very fun article. Highly suggest everyone heads over to CBS Sports and reads that. Agree with all their ads. What I want to do, Riley, is I want to come up with our own six total of the splashiest ads of the offseason. Now, I want to get a little cute here, a little cutesy, a little silly, perhaps, a little silly face here, perhaps. Um, Obviously you have the best players getting added. That's going to be great, right? But I want to talk splashy ads that maybe are a little bit, for the people who think JID is a really good rapper. Who are the splashiest ads of the college basketball offseason? Sound good?
Sounds great to me. I kind of had this bit prepared where I do a Greg impersonation at this juncture. If you want me to go ahead,
Please.
Cart, you know a thing or two about making big splashes, don't you?
That's so well done. I really hope everyone does appreciate that. And I say, yeah, I do.
Now back to me, my thoughts here. Like you're saying, with the getting a little cute, a little silly with our splashiest ads. The way that I'm approaching this is thinking more so these ads are more, let's say, indispensable to this team's success. This maybe it's a roster that would be lackluster without these particular players on them because with all due respect to the CBS crew, this was pretty much a list of five of the best 10 players in college basketball. With some of these ads, I want to go off the beaten path a little bit and look at some teams where it's like, hey, this roster's fine, but adding this piece really gets them over the edge and makes them either a tournament team or even a contender to make a run come March.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so I want to come up with six total. We can like work together. Maybe we have three that we want to do ourselves, but I want to come up with three with six collectively. That work for you?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay, just throwing out names, but also I feel like this should make the six. I feel like Oscar Clough should be in this for Purdue, just given the significance of like what he brings to that team. He brings the rebounding, the size that they need. And like you're looking at a team that has national title hopes and aspirations, and Clough might be like that missing piece that kind of gets them to that point. I think we had a discussion the other day where Clough was talking about how like he loves the family feel of Purdue and like he's gonna immerse himself in the culture. You look back to 2 years ago, Lance Jones was like that guy that like the fan base loved, transfer, and he was like the linchpin kind of like connecting piece. I feel like Oscar Clough could have some of that same type stuff. So I would like to have Oscar Clough on this list.
I agree with you there. I think that fits that criteria that I even looked at this, where last year Purdue's a 4 seed, get to the Sweet 16. Hee hee hoo hoo, fun season, but they have bigger dreams than West Lafayette, and he is that piece that makes him a true national title contender. For my first selection, I want to go with Tunde Yesufu, sorry. When I look at this Baylor team, this roster is not really up to par with recent Scott Drew units, especially in the backcourt. You know, he's gotten very used to having NBA guys coming through his system, whether it's VJ Edgecombe, whether it's Keontae George before him. And I look at Yesufu as the guy who gives them at least some of that pedigree, one of the guys who you can lean on and say, hey, that's our lottery pick. And maybe he's the one who can keep them in either Big 12 contention, although I still have questions to really put them in that. But I
Mm.
think he is good enough to almost single handedly will them to the tournament if all else fails.
I like that. I like that pick. I think that he is, and also like given that team makeup too. Like I feel like he's going to be asked to do a lot. So
Right.
I think it is going to be, and I just love his game. So I really like that pick. This other one for me is of importance, but I feel like it should be here just given the exercise. I want to put Jaden Quaintance on this list. You're adding a
Uh,
transfer that's a possible top 10 draft pick. Like
mhm.
that's when we talk splashy, that's it doesn't get much splashier than that, I must say. I would like to add Jaden Quaintance to this list.
I think Quaintance fits. I'm trying to. Yeah, I think when you factor in what he could be if he hits his ceiling, it transforms what this Kentucky team is. Because you're
Right.
looking at someone, I know Kentucky fans felt a lot of frustration with Brandon Garrison last year, whether it was the fouls or just some maybe some mentally frustrating plays that Garrison would make whenever Quaintance can get healthy, if he is right, I mean, you just the way he moves, does he should not be 6'9", 240. He moves like a guard, great instincts, supreme shot blocker. I like that. I think he could transform the outlook for this team.
All right, I like that. All right, look, throwing some other names out there that I think are going to be big difference makers for the teams. Obviously, Donovan Dent is a name we could think about in this one. I think
Hmm.
Andre Stojakovic might even need a shout here, just as far as like what he could be as the number one option for that team. Hashtag my guy. Jaleel Bethea is going to be splashy. I don't care what anybody says. God damn it, he's going to be good. Um, yeah, I don't know if is there any other ones like some under the radar ones like Nick Boyd being good for Wisconsin. I don't know if that or maybe a Creighton guy, a Blake Harper perhaps.
Yeah, I was thinking about Harper. Okay, so the three we have for sure that we want on there, you said Clough,
Yeah,
Yesufu,
yes, Sabu and Quinn.
Quaintance. I think Dent belongs. He transforms the outlook for this UCLA team. It means a smaller role for Sky Clark, where you're not leaning on him to create as much. And I think he's probably better as a secondary guy anyway. And having someone who can put pressure on the rim like Dent, really good passer, I think makes life easier on two play finisher type glue guys with both Eric Daly Jr. and Tyler Bilodeau. I believe he belongs.
Yeah, I like that pick. Two spots left here. Anyone that sticks out to you that deserves a spot here for sure?
I'm leaving here with something. I'm getting either Luka Bogovac or Caleb Wilson on this list.
I'll give you Caleb Wilson.
Let's go. I get so much. hate from UNC fans saying, "Oh, you're always down on the team. You're always negative. The sleepers guys are dragging UNC." Well, here you go. I'm gassing up Caleb Wilson and his importance on this
Hey, I'm
team.
a Caleb Wilson guy.
I'm glad we're locked in on
Honestly,
that.
I'm a Tar Heel guy. I'm just not a certain guy that we don't have to stay here. But moving on, we have one spot left on our list. I threw out like Andre Stojakovic. I
Mhm.
honestly maybe Blake Harper.
Okay, there's a couple things here. Harper would be the pick for a Twinsky Monday episode.
It would be.
I think there's a chance that there's one guy who might be even more of a Twinsky pick, and that's Rodney Rice and what he could be for USC.
I don't know if they're gonna be good.
I know, but if they're good, it'll be because of Rodney Rice.
All right, let's get to it. No one's stopping us. Let's go, Rodney Rice.
Do you feel good about Rice over Harper?
No, honestly, I want Stojakovic over Rice.
Ah, man, Stojakovic is really good. Okay, let's. These are our three contenders: Stojakovic, Harper, Rice. Harper, to me, the splash is there because he brings a level of athleticism and rebounding to a team in Creighton that I think desperately needs it and has sort of lacked that in recent years outside of Kalkbrenner. It's nice to get that from a position who's not your five man too. That would be his case. Stojakovic is the sure thing where it's like we've seen this dude be productive in a power conference game, and you're not just relying on all these imports to hit. Rodney Rice is truly just a fan favorite between the two of us, and I believe he got his paper, his Skrilla, if you will, to go to USC. And if they are good, it is because Rodney Rice is the alpha dog in the backcourt. Stojakovic feels like the safest and the one that was the biggest splash at the time.
How about this? Stojakovic at 6, and two honorable mentions that will be put on the graphic as well: Rodney Rice and Blake Harper.
Genius marketing skills on your part.
Listen, there was one time when I took a marketing class for 2 classes and then I dropped it, but I picked up something in those 48 hours of class.
Cart, were you sitting in the front row of class back then? Or was this
Uh,
still
hey, never ever forget that it's when you're required to sit in the front of the class and you're as massive a human being as me and you go to a small liberal arts school and you tweet with your unprotected tweets that your coach is high as hell if you think you're sitting in the front of the class, you will get in trouble for it, Carter. If I could go back and shake you, I would, son. But our
Did
list,
did you actually get in trouble for that tweet?
yes. Well,
For the listeners who don't know, do you want them to know what exactly the tweet said?
it was something along the lines of my coach is crazy as hell if he thinks I'm sitting in the front row of a 9 a.m. geology class.
What was the punishment?
A lot of running, a lot of running. Which, by the way, one of the great under things of going to a D3 college when you got in disciplinary issues, you just ran a lot. I was in unreal shape because I was a knucklehead. I was in nasty shape though because I was always running. All right, our list: Oscar Clough, Tunde Yasafu, Jaden Quaintance, Donovan Dent, Caleb Wilson, Andre Stojakovic, honorable mention Rodney Rice, and Blake Harper. I like that list.
It's a great list. There's no other way I envisioned that playing out.
Flashy, silly, everything you need. One big thing presented by Riley getting Chick-fil-A for lunch. Riley.
I do have some Chick-fil-A on the way. I got interrupted. We actually had to redo this one big thing because I got distracted by a text from my mother-in-law asking if I wanted anything from Chick-fil-A. She's with my son right now. Shout out to her. But my one big thing is this, Carter. When you drink coffee, do y'all like freshly grind your beans every morning?
So I got a new coffee machine, the Ninja like Deluxe Cafe, and yeah, you put the beans in there and it grinds them up, and then you make a coffee. It's fire. It's elite.
So I love freshly ground coffee. That is what I'm in the habit of doing, and buying the whole beans, grinding it up, making my fresh batch every morning. Within the past recent weeks, our coffee grinder broke, and this has lasted us the entirety of our marriage. I think my wife had it even before we got married, and it finally broke down. Don't know if we want to just buy the same one. It was a Mr. Coffee brand, I believe, but I've been drinking ground coffee the past couple weeks. I'm getting tired of it. I have some really good whole bean coffee ready to be ground. So I'm soliciting advice from any listeners out there. If you have an economically affordable coffee grinder you'd recommend, I'm not closing myself off to the Ninja, but anything like that, let me know. I got a $50 Amazon gift card ready to go on a coffee grinder. So
Everyone help my dog Riley out. Get him his coffee that he needs so that he's in a good spot to do that. What is my one big? You know what? Once again, I had a one big thing on the first segment before you made me stop, Riley. Oh man. All right. My one big thing today. Ooh. Actually, I'll go with this. Well, when this episode releases, I'm going to a Chris Brown concert tonight. I'm going to the Breezy Bowl. Some of our friends fell into some sweet tickets to the Chris Brown concert at Ford Field, so I will be going to that. And I'll say this, right? Do I support Chris Brown's off the field antics? Absolutely not. No go. With that said, Dog's been making hits, man. I've been listening to some old Chris Brown. Yeah, I don't know your name. Man. I saw you across. I can't catch the hat on my head, but my dog has hits, and I will make it known before I start enjoying the concert tonight that I'm gonna yell out, "Chris, be a better person." But then I'm gonna tap into the tunes. He's got hits. All right. Uh, Riley, how do you feel about me going to the Chris Brown concert?
My mind immediately goes back to being in middle school and when you had friends that were going to a concert that you, for whatever reason, were not able to, whether you couldn't secure the tickets, whether you didn't get the green light from your parents, you would say, "Yo, just hit me up on my Motorola Razr when they play my favorite song." And I'm expecting a phone call now when "Excuse Me, Miss Yo" in parentheses gets played. Uh, to get some insight into what the live version of that is like.
Yeah, I got you. Also, way too much information here, but there was a time when a young Carter Elliott uh did learn the take you down routine. You know what I'm saying? It ain't my first time, baby. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a little bit of the gyrations and whatnot. That's not gonna happen again, but it is out there. Riley, thank you for subbing in for this Monday. I love the double twin ski action. We're locked in 4L. You already know what's going on, but be sure to tune in to all the content on Supers Media. Riley, I appreciate you. Y'all have a great week, man.